All right, this is an intermission. I decided that after every 10 episodes, I'm going to do an intermission, which helps me to talk a little bit about other stuff, like the in-between stuff. Intermission means like the time or a segment in between things. And since I'm still, I kind of confuse people a little bit with my timeline. For instance, I give you an example. Right now, it's a beautiful, beautiful day. It could be spring, it could be fall, but it's actually February. And this episode I will actually release right away, probably today or tomorrow. But sometimes it happens that I record something, I give a time frame of something that happens in the world or a season, and then I release it not during that season. And people, maybe you, watching, listening, might be confused, like, what the heck's going on, man? It's like it's summer and he talks about snow falling in Jersey. So that's the first thing I just wanted to clarify. The other thing I wanted to clarify is this is on my podcast. Right now, this intermission goes on the social media platform and the podcast. On the podcast, I released the old episodes. So we're almost done with season 2, which is 2021. And then we're going to start and launch into 2022. So we're getting closer. Like a few more weeks, maybe 2 months, and everything is caught up. So bear with me. So maybe some of you are like, what are you talking about? So, there's stuff that I release on social media and stuff on my podcast. If you haven't listened to my podcast, I invite you to do it. Check it out, PITSTOP PIONEERS, Top Seckinger. It's on all the main platforms, like 11 of them, which is great. Anchor, Spotify, iTunes, Amazon, Google, you name it. This is as far as I can go, count. So, but I enjoy doing it. Just listen to my beginning phase as I started this podcast in 2020. And so wrapping season 2 up pretty soon. And then we get into season 3, as I already said. So thanks for bearing with me. If you, I had some people just comes to mind that listen to my stuff. I got some, feedback, which is great. I'm also on YouTube and obviously the social media platforms, Instagram and Facebook. And I get some really cool feedbacks, comments about what I do and my motivation and things I talk about. So if you like it, let somebody know. Some people actually do that, and I'm very grateful for those of you that shared some of my posts, some of my episodes, whether it's, you send it to a friend by text message. I mean, there's so many things you can do nowadays. It's quite awesome. It's amazing. And so feel free to do that. Just spread the word. If you're excited, if you like it, just tell somebody. That's great. I have an amendment. This is called actually intermission amendment. So I'm glad to get feedback because sometimes I talk about stuff that might not be completely accurate. I'm a human being. I make mistakes. Yes, I do. It's actually true. You can ask those people who know me best. They know I make mistakes. We all do. And so I'm glad that somebody tells me and points it out to me so I can correct them. So I learned that I made an episode. I think it was just talking. It was called. It's just talking about my friend Cameron Yarai about this podcast. And I think I mentioned some quotes or something. I talked about Mother Teresa and I almost said Sir Francis from Assisi, but it's Saint Francis from Assisi, and very famous saint. And I used some quotes that I assumed, maybe you too, that were from them. And a friend of mine pointed it out to me. Is like, you know what? These are misquotes. These saints have never said these things. That's what we assume because it's out there. But it's powerful. But why is this so powerful? Because I can now actually say, you know what? I said it, and that's what it is from now on. But I won't do that. I'm teachable. Yes, Lord, I'm teachable. So I wanted to tell you that Francis from Assisi never said, preach the gospel and if necessary, use words. I guess there was somebody else. So now we know. But whoever said it, it's still a cool quote, I think. So, we give credit to whom credit is due or honor whom honor is due. So this one, Francis, that's not you, baby. That's not you. Somebody else said that. But it's okay. We can keep using it. And if you like or I like, we can sign Francis's name underneath it, or we can just make something up. That's the power of the media. Anyway, I don't want to do that. I want to, in my podcast and in my episodes and what I talk about, I want it to be from the heart. I want to be able to share what's going on, how I look at the world, have conversations with my friends, and do some poetry. And I keep saying this with the poetry, and for those who actually pay attention, I have released one poem so far, and I will get there. Right now there's just a lot of stuff that's on my heart and on my mind that I feel like recording, and I do, and then I just put it out there. And then there's some things that I still haven't released yet. I actually been just going through some of my recordings, and I'm like, oh man, this is another one. Why didn't I have never released this? And some of are time sensitive that are like completely, I did something about voting. and of course, voting is over. I mean, like if I release this now, it's like, what are you talking about? So there's some are very time sensitive, and if I miss it, I miss it. Maybe I can release it in a year from now and just pretend it was, it's from now, but it was recorded a year ago. So I hope this makes sense. I don't want to confuse you, but thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Thanks for spreading. If you like spreading this and share it with somebody, that would be great. I would appreciate that. And if not, that's fine too. I keep plugging along and record. Because I really feel like in conversation with some of my friends, some of them have podcasts or YouTube channels, and some don't. You don't need to. That's not the norm, actually, even though one of my friends thought everybody has a channel nowadays. And you can. It's just amazing what you actually can do. But I just simply, was talking or sharing a little bit with you about some of those other channels to check it out, because it needs to be heard. There's some people that I know have a voice and they need to be heard, especially since maybe they talk about not just the normal stuff, the things that we are used to, the things that everybody talks about, like the intermission. It's something in between. I found out that in lots of events that I hosted or was a part of, but mainly hosted, the in-between stuff is almost the most fun stuff and the most interesting stuff. Like when you get coffee and stand in line and meet somebody that you would normally not meet because you all sit maybe in a seminar listening to somebody talk to you, which is great, but sometimes there's not a chance to even meet the person right next to you. And so the in-between stuff gives you the opportunity to do so. And it's always quite amazing of who you can run into, who you can get to meet. I met a lot of people like this that was not planned. And so be encouraged. Life can be planned to a certain degree, but more than that, it needs to be lived. I feel telling people I stumbled into a lot of things that I did not plan. It just happened. One thing leading to the next. One person I met introduced me to somebody else. I end up somewhere, whatever. And so that's how it works for me. Because I also realized if you make certain plans, especially, who said that? I think maybe even God said that, or somebody said, like, we make our plans and God laughs, right? I want to be in tune with His plans for my life, and I wish the same to you. So now there's a plane flying overneath. Maybe you hear this. Just look at this. I have a microphone. Maybe you cannot see it. Look at this, a clip. Isn't that cool? Yeah, I'm getting on there. I have a little tripod that's super light. I can just put in it's almost like as a carry-on, like a backpack. And I just put my camera there so I don't have to hold out my arm all the time. And now I just have these microphones, actually 2 of them. So if I have a conversation with somebody, I'm ready. It's like, it comes in I can show you. It comes in a package like this. Look at this. And you open it up, 2 microphones and a receiver, and I'm good to go. And hopefully it makes a difference by being outside, because all of these episodes are recorded outside. This is actually for the first time, for the longest time, I'm back here at my fire pit. I record a lot of my episodes I've recorded at the Plainsboro Preserve or somewhere else where I go hiking, and I just have my stuff with me and I'm ready to go. So again, this is an amendment. We just needed to adjust something. I wanted to clarify this, so thank you. Let's call him P, my friend P, to point that out to me. At least somebody, it's good to know that somebody pays attention and gives me feedback. I appreciate that. I want to learn, I want to grow, so thank you for that. And also season 3 is about to drop, and then we're getting closer to season 4, which is 2023, which we are in, and on social media that's already live. I hope that makes sense. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. This is my perspective. Bye for now. Bye-bye.